Uy pare, nakabangga ako ng pedestrian. Parang critical yung sitwasyon. Paano yun? Uy, dali lang yan. Gamitin mo yung insurance mo. Pero, alamin muna kung ano mga steps na gagawin before mo i-report sa insurance yan. Covered yan kasi pedestrian na banggaan mo. Under yan ng TPL. Okay? Okay, mga best friend, idol. Another episode of our podcast via Anchor and Spotify. This is about the TPL coverage and some other insurance coverage po. Listen via Anchor and Spotify. Our third episode sa atong CTS Cristo Show. See ya! Hi there! This is another episode of our podcast CTS Cristo Show here on Anchor FM, and also it'll be heard on Spotify. Maayong gabi sa tanan, maayong adlaw, magandang gabi, and good evening everybody. I'm pretty much hyped up now, probably. Because napagyapon to sa ito po yung tinatawag nating continuation po sa mga insurance coverage under comprehensive policy po sa atong non-life insurance under motor cars. Okay, ito po yung mga coverages natin. Dinidiscuss po natin mula dun sa own damage, property damage, and this time kumukha nung na-mention dun sa teaser natin, ano po ang gagawin pag yung minamaneho mong sasakyan nakabangga ng pedestrian or tao. Ayun, dalawang lang po yan. Dalawang paroroonan kumbaga. It's either kung nakabangga ka po, fatal or bodily injury lang. Pag sinabing fatal, patay po or malubha. Or bodily injury, minor injuries lang dahil dun sa impact ng pagbangga. Okay, so this is the third episode, by the way, and I would like to say it is a delayed recording for this, since which is supposed to be every Friday po ang podcast episode natin, but I guess there are a lot of things that must be done and should be done other than this. Alright, but nevertheless, ito na po, we already continued to record this one, and dun po sa may mga sasakyan dyan, at kumuha kayo ng insurance, comprehensive insurance policy dun sa vehicle ninyo, this podcast is for you. Na-mention na natin sa first couple episodes back on the episode 1 and episode 2, the own damage and the property damage respectively. Ito po ang episode 3. Nako, ang i-discuss po natin, I have my note here. It's for the TPL. Okay? TPL, bodily injury, and PA claim. Magkarugtong po ang tatlong yan. We will discuss about the nature of the coverage and kung ano-ano po ang mga requirements in terms of insurance claim. Ano-ano po ang gagawin. Tips, kung ano yung first couple of things that must be done before po ninyo i-report sa insurance ninyo or sa insurance provider ninyo ang nangyaring aksidente. Okay, so balik tayo sa konting recap lang. TPL po is it means, or TPL or Ctpl, Compulsory Third Party Liability or Third Party Liability, is the coverage of insurance dun po sa mababanggaang pedestrian or any person or any individual ng sasakyan nyo. Okay, hindi po yan insurance ng sasakyan. Insurance po yan na ang mako-cover ang taong mababangga ninyo. And mind you, mandatory po ang pagkuha ng TPL or Ctpl, pareho lang po yan, by LTO. Mandated po yan ng LTO. Again, hindi po marirenew ang rehistro ng sasakyan ninyo kung hindi ko yung kukuha ng TPL. Kaya mandatory po yan. Okay, so isa po yan sa pinaka-importanting coverage ng insurance. And normally po, ang maximum coverage lang yan na sinet ng ating government through IC or Insurance Commission and through the collaboration dun sa LTO and sa mga insurance providers, non-life, specifically sa motor cars, ang maximum coverage po ng TPL is only, sino ba makakahula? Only 100,000 pesos. For this time, actually medyo maliit. It has been that for the past 10 years. Correct me if I'm wrong, but since I came in this industry, since I've been part of this industry dito sa non-life insurance, it has been like that na 100,000 ang coverage. Medyo maliit po, and wala pong option na i-increase kasi yun lang talaga ang sinet ng Insurance Commission. By the way, Insurance Commission, dun sa mga hindi nakakaalam, government body po yan na nagre-regulate at nagmo-monitor at nagsusupervise lahat ng mga insurance companies na nag-ooperate sa Philippines. And Insurance Commission or IC is under the umbrella of Department of Finance. Okay? So, it is truly a government-mandated rules and regulations kaya wala po tayong magagawa. Siguro, ganun lang talaga yung binigay nila but we wish na dapat siguro i-increase yan to 300 or to 500,000 na coverage. Of course, with the additional premium din po kasi malaki yung coverage malulugi din yung insurance kung maliit lang yung premium tas lumaki yung coverage. Okay, so again, TPL is one of the most vital coverage po sa isang insurance, non-life insurance, motor car, since ang covered po niyan is intended for the pedestrian po na mababangga. Every time po kung may mangyari, nag-drive si Juan de la Cruz ng kanyang sasakyan at may nangyaring vehicular accident which involves his unit or his vehicle versus the pedestrian. I don't know if nag-cross lang or na-sideswipe niya. So, by the way, sideswipe is really the term dun sa na learn natin na acknowledge natin na accepted word na sideswipe. Hindi pala sideswipe yun sideswipe talaga. As in, when I first read the word, it's really side swipe. Na swipe, yung swipe ba? Swipe, card swipe, yun. Hindi pala side swipe. Side swipe talaga. Alright, nagdadrive si Juan. Suddenly, may nag-cross na pedestrian. Inadvertently, nag-cross talaga. Tapos, 80 to 100 yung takbo ni Juan. Straight po ang daan, nasa national highway naman. Juan wasn't able to maneuver the vehicle before the act of crossing, kaya nahagip ni Juan. Accident po yun. That is covered under the TPL. So, covered po yan as long as valid and legitimate lang yung pangyayari. Kasi there are instances po na hindi pwedeng makovered ang isang paggabangga or nangyaring aksidente. And I will discuss that in a few minutes. Now, ano po mangyayari pag ganyan nangyari? Nahagip ni Juan yung tao. So, most likely, again, dalawa lang po ang paroroonan yan. It's either fatal or patay po or bodily injury or minor lang. Of course, you would wish na minor lang, but not all, di ba? But syempre, you would wish to be minor lang kaysa patay, di ba? Yun? It's not good, and may maapektuhan talagang pamilya niyan, di ba? Okay, so ano po mangyayari niyan? First things first po, covered po yan ng TPL as long as legitimate and proper lang yung I mean, I'm not saying proper kasi aksidente yon. As long as legit lang gid ang pangitabo or yung pangyayari na ano talaga, fault talaga ng driver ng sasakyan, no? Nabangga niya. So, ano po ang first natin na gagawin? Normally, I will give a 2 scenario. Siguro, first, we should have, kung nabunggo ni Juan, ayun, tinamaan yung tao. Kung medyo malakas-lakas talaga yung impact, worst case scenario is the person could be dead. No? So, TPL din po yan. May dalawang klase po TPL. TPL na injured or TPL na death. Okay. Kung TPL na death, syempre, kung sino mang person ang ma-involved niyan or sino mang driver, I'm pretty sure it will create a shocking aura dun sa driver. Kasi aksidente tapos nakabunga. Hindi, that is not a, you would not wish na you'll have that spot, no? You wouldn't wish you'll have that experience. Of course, who would like that, di ba? So, kung mangyari yon, just stay composed. I'm pretty sure there are a lot of emotions to going there. You know, if andun ka na sa event, no? And that's pretty hard. That is pretty hard. And then just stay composed and just wait for the authorities, no? Wag kang tumakbo or wag mong iwasan yung kasi yung nature kasi ng ibang driver pag walang nakakita innate reaction yan is lalabas at mag-i-escape na lang. Tinalakuran yung responsibilidad niya at naging TNT na. Tago ng tago, mahirap yun. Liliit yung mundo mo. Tsaka wala kang peace of mind or parang ganun, no? So, ganun talaga nangyari, may aksidente. Good thing there is an insurance for that. It's called TPL. So, ano gagawin? Just wait for the authorities po na ganun yung mangyari. I mean, kung may mangyari man, just wait for the authorities and of course for the rescue. I'm pretty sure both of the involved persons are being taken care of. Huwag po kayong lumabas, baka kuyugin kayo ng taong bayan dyan, kung sino man, or may pamilya andyan lang yung pamilya ng nabangga nyo po, no? Huwag po kayong padalos-dalos, just stay composed, and I'm pretty sure you'll have your final moments na ano ba gagawin ko. Call po, if you can call someone, if may kakilala ba ko yung police, much better. Or if may mag-reach out sa inyo, sir, ano ba, tawag tayo ng police, tumawag kayo ng police, hintayin nyo po yung police para ma-neutralize yung pangyayari. And then, it'll follow. Rescue will follow. Ambulance will follow. Rescue team will follow. The police officers will follow. And then they will conduct the investigation and all the protocols necessary for them to do it. So, next, fast forward natin, na-settle na. Unfortunately, yung nabangga, example lang to unfortunately, na-deads na. Okay? So, that's the time po na, kasi ang mangyayari niyan, yung settlement, tatanong nyo, paring Coco, how about yung settlement naman? Paano yon? Hindi ba, normally kasi yung tanong nila, may insurance to So, pwede ba itong bayaran ng insurance right away? Yung mga gastos nito, yung expenses nito, yung mga burial and funeral expenses, and all other expenses necessary for this thing, or for this, accident? Insurance ba agad? Ang sagot po, hindi. Hindi po. Si insurance po is just right there, secondary next to the owner, or to the whoever is the involved there. Ang unang-una pong magsisettle niyan is whoever is the registered owner or yung driver man, sila po ang magsisettle first doon sa victim, sa hingtungdan, kung sa Bisaya pa, no? To the heirs or family or relatives nung biktima. Okay? So, hindi po si insurance agad-agad nang magbabayad niyan. Kasi nga po, again, insurance is right there for reimbursement purposes. Normal scenario po yun. normally, insurance is right there for reimbursement. Ang unang-una po gagastos niyan is yung may-ari talaga ng sasakyan. Okay? Let's say for example, nasettle na yung pangyayari. Right there and there, you can notify the insurance. Okay? So basically, you can call them actually naman on the day or right after the event na may nangyari sa inyo. And then, they will advise you on what to do. They will advise you on what requirements to be prepared para at least you'll have the tidbits of knowledge kung ano yung i-require ninyo. Okay, eto po ang mga requirements ng TPL pag may nangyari. Unang-una po, of course, yung insurance policy check nyo. No, covered yan Insurance policy check nyo yan. This is for TPL death Hindi to injured lang. We're talking about TPL death. Kung patay talaga. Okay, I'll have my note here. Insurance policy right after, of course, ang i-require ng insurance niyan, basic po to, LTO o RCR, the insurance policy, the driver's license ng driver ng nakabangga, the police report, if necessary, mangangailangan din po tayo ng mga driver's affidavit of accident. Sinumpaang salaysay po yan in written form. Of course, dapat notarize yan. And then, stencils nung vehicle. Tapos on the victim's side, ito po mga requirements na kinakailangan natin: death certificate of the victim, birth certificate of the victim if minor po ang na-involved, birth of course, marriage contract ng parents ng victim if minor ang involved. If hindi naman, just stick with the previous two na na-mention ko. Next is the original funeral receipt. Yung resibo po ng funeral service, no? And if, of course, normally may cash assistance na i-extend yung may-ari ng sasakyan, mangangailangan din po si insurance ng acknowledgement receipt or settlement document, no? Any proof po na nagsettle na kayo, ipanotaryo nyo doon po sa settlement, mamimension doon yung amount of settlement, yung terms and conditions po of the settlement agreement, no? Agreement po yun, it's in written form again, and dapat notarized din, and dapat may pirma both parties, no? Or witness, dagdag nyo yun. And next is yung affidavit of desistance. Pwede din po, that is intended for the claim and release. Affidavit of desistance or quit claim. Pwede na yun. Ibig po sabihin doon, settled na po yung may-ari ng vehicle, si Juan de la Cruz, doon sa biktima. Which means kung i-forward lahat ni Juan yung documents na na-mention ko a while ago or a moment ago, that is the proof po na settled na si Juan and he already made the settlement to the victim, to the family of the victim, and then which will form part of the requirements na needed ng insurance for reimbursement. Okay. Amount of settlement will vary upon the actual settlement po. Hindi po como may 100,000 na coverage, ibibigay po lahat yon. Okay? Normally po, magbe-base po dun sa actual expenses. Okay? So, let your insurance provider explain that to you. Especially, tanong nyo. Feel free po to, actually, if I were you, I would be glad to ask my insurance provider kung ano-ano tong mga to eh. Kasi what if may mangyari sa atin or sa pamilya niyo or may mangyari lang, 'di ba? At least you have the idea, may na heads up ka na kung ano gagawin. 'Di ba? Kasi normally in my experience, siguro 6 times out of 10 yung mga naka-experience ng bangga, yung mga may-ari ng sasakyan, they really thought that 100,000 is really intended whole for that, even though hindi umabot naman ng 100,000 yung settlement. It doesn't mean po na patay, ibigay po lahat. Kasi depende din po yan sa actual. Ba't may ibibigay yung 100? Ano naman, di ba? Yung sinettle nila is siguro, pag may involved na patay, siguro hindi bababa yan sa 50 mil 50 mil talaga pataas. What if nagsettle lang sila up until 50k? Okay na. 'Di ba? So, yun lang yung i-reimburse ng insurance dun sa may-ari ng sasakyan. Okay. Ganun yun. So, if I were you, you better ask your insurance provider, ano-ano ba tong mga to? Kasi don't be settled na binayaran mo lang yung premium, hanggang dun lang. Magtanong ka po, kasali yan sa binayaran nyo. Tanong nyo po yan sa insurance provider ninyo. It's for free. Wala pong bayad ang magtanong. In fact, matcha-challenge pa sila niyan hindi siya medyo makulit ka as their client, but you have the right to ask, no? Tanong nyo yung claims department or whoever is your insurance agent, tanong nyo. Kasi mabuti na po yung may alam, kahit konti kaysa wala. Okay? So, eto po ang mangyayari niyan. So, right after po ma-submit ninyo yung requirements dun sa insurance provider ninyo, ang mangyayari niyan is they will file that for claim, and of course, they will review the documents being submitted. I-assess nila yan, gagawa nila ng evaluation, sort of computation na din dun sa na-submit ninyo. Kung patay, yung na-mention ko, those were the requirements for death claim, TPL. How about kung hindi namatay? Bodily injury lang. Okay? Na-confine lang sa hospital. TPL din po 'yon. Pero TPL bodily injury. So ano po ang mga requirements? It's almost the same, however on the part of the victim, ito po kailangan kung na-hospital po siya, kung na-confine po, let's just say 1 week. Okay? Idagdag niyo lang po doon sa mga na-mention ko, insurance policy, ORCR, driver's license, police report, driver's affidavit, stencils. Ito po idagdag ninyo. Hospital statement of account. SOA po ng hospital. Breakdown po yan ng mga medical expenses na na-incur doon sa pagpapakonfine sa hospital within a span of a few days or a few weeks. It depends on the actual confinement. Okay? Hospital statement of account, isa po yan sa mga requirements. Original medical certificate, if hindi po makaprovide ng original, pa-certify true copy nyo na lang. Okay? And medical receipts. Yung mga resibo po na binili nyo na mga gamot, no? Doon sa pagpapagaling doon sa na confine. And yung prescription ng gamot. And again, na-mention ko na, kung may binili kayo na gamot outside sa hospital, like sa mga pharmacies or anywhere, Mercury Drug ba or sa Rose Pharmacy ba, basta outside hospital, i-keep nyo din po yung OR nun, yung official receipt nun. As much as possible, bigyan nyo po yung original. If hindi po mabigay yung original, certified true copy. Kasi may iba din nag-claim sa SS nila or what to other insurance Kasi may mga ganun. Pero as much as possible, bigyan nyo po yung original. If hindi po original, justify nyo po ba't hindi nyo mabigay. Tapos, instead na ibigay nyo yung original, certified true copy. But, you must have to justify ba't hindi nyo mabigay. But I suggest original po ibigay ninyo para hindi na maging madaming tanong sa insurance. Okay, next po sa mga nabanggit ko, pag TPL bodily injury lang, ayun, birth certificate if minor po yung involved, and marriage contract po ng parents niya. If hindi, no need na po ng mga birth certificate. It could be a desistance na din or quit claim, and pwede na rin valid ID ng victim. Any government valid ID that will do for identification purposes lang, no? Parang ganun lang. Kasi po, again, I will reiterate this, insurance claim process is all about justification. If the insurance can justify the claim to be legit or to be fraud, well then so be it. If legit po yung claim, bayaran po ni insurance yung claimant. If fraud po yung claim, i-deny po yung claim kung may ma-found out na violations or any technical lapses dun sa claim, no? Ganun din po. Ganun lang po yung insurance claim. It's all about justification. Pagpapatunay na claimable ba o hindi. Pag justifiable lang, no problem. Okay? So, yun po ang mga normal requirements sa isang TPL claim. Now, you might be wondering, paring ko, kasi nga nasabi ko, paring ko 100,000 lang. Okay? 100,000 lang yung coverage. What if po yung settlement nag-exceed sa 100,000? Because in my experience, madami pong ganun na nagsisettle in like more than 100,000. Diba? Like 200, 300, 500, mga ganun. Kahit hospital expenses nga lang, kahit hindi patay may iba nga dyan umaabot ng milyon. Kasi talagang fatal, close to death yung nangyari sa biktima. Buhay pa nga lang na ospital. Sabi pa nga ng iba, buti pa lang namatay na lang kasi isang bayaran lang, di ba? But you cannot give amount to life, no? I mean, what I'm trying to say is, hindi niyo po kayang tumbasan ng pera ang buhay ng tao. There's no such amount that can equate the life of a person. There's no such thing as that. Because life is, I believe, it's valuable. You know? Regardless of the terms. But for me, life is really valuable. It cannot summate any amount of money. Although it can help, but not to the victim, to the heirs of the victim. At least hindi sila maghirap. At least may assistance. At least hindi sila nagkaletse-letse dun sa nangyari kasi may assistance. It will help, practically speaking and reasonably speaking. Ganun yun. Kasi usually, ganun yung tanong Paring Coco, lumagpas yung settlement natin dun sa victim ng 100,000. Ano po mangyayari? Sino po magbabayad? Or ano po mangyayari? Quits na lang ba? Ganito po. Pasalamat kayo, may comprehensive insurance policy ang insurance ninyo. Bakit kamo? Kasi kung napansin nyo yung bodily injury na coverage, andan yan Pag comprehensive, automatic yan, may BI. Hindi po bad influence yan. Hindi po mabahong ilok yan kung sa Bisaya pa. Bodily injury. Bodily injury will only function after the exhaustion or after po ma-exhausted yung coverage ng TPL. Yon. Tsaka alam po magfa-function si BI, yung bodily injury, if exhausted na po yung TPL coverage. I'll give you an example. Kung si Juan nagsettle ng 200,000 doon sa victim, buhay buhay, na-confine lang sa hospital. Regardless if may patay din. Basta kung lumagpas ng 100,000 yung settlement, ang sasagot po doon or ang sasalo po doon is yung BI, bodily injury po ang magko-covered nun. Yun po ang purpose ng bodily injury. Any excess amount of TPL expenses incurred, si BI po ang sasagot. Yan. May certain computation for the TPL, and whatever is the excess, BI is the automatic po na sasagot. Okay? Tanong, magkano po ang coverage ng BI? Depende po yan. If mandatory po ang TPL na 100,000 lang, which is quite small, no? Especially these times, maliit lang po yung 100,000 for the TPL coverage. Yung bodily injury po, pwede nyo pong ma-adjustan yun Pwede nyo po i-increase yun. Normally, may iba 100K, ini-equate lang dun sa TPL coverage para at least may 200,000 siyang backup. Or yung iba, nag-i-increase up to 500,000. Malaki yun. Especially yung mga trucks, yung mga for-hire trucks, yung mga trucking companies. Malalaki po ang coverage ng BI nila. Kasi greater risk po ang mga trucks. Malalaki po yan malaki po inookupan nila sa daan. So there is a greater risk of collision between and against other vehicles. No? Okay. So, yun po ang function ng bodily injury. Ano-ano po yung mga requirements? It's almost the same. But there are instances na yung TPL ninyo is hindi po pareho dun sa BI. May mga instances, yung TPL provider, insurance provider ninyo, yung may mga instances po na ganun eh. So, it can be claimable as long as all the requirements you submitted dun sa TPL requirements nyo sa insurance provider nyo, insurance A, masubmit nyo din sa insurance B sa BI provider ninyo or bodily injury provider ninyo. Okay? So, ganun lang po. Tanong, paring Coco, obviously naman kung medyo umabot sa ganun ka, ano ba tawag dito? Ganun ka, gruesome, should I say, or ganun ka hindi naman brutal or what, I don't know what is the right word for that, but kung umabot man sa ganun, may namatay or may na-injured, obviously pinakamalimit niyan yung driver din, or kung may passengers man kayo, ang sasagot po doon, under din po yun ng comprehensive insurance policy, cover din po ang driver at saka passenger on board. Okay? Ang sasagot po doon is yung PA, personal accident or auto PA. Ganun po 'yun. Ang auto PA or auto personal accident covered po ang driver at yung 4 other passengers. We're talking about sedans here, but that is the pretty much standard coverage. Okay? So covered po yun. Any injury or bodily injury na masustain nung mga passengers and the driver on board, covered po yun. Check your policy coverage kung magkano. It will depend eh. It will depend. May iba, 250,000 for both, 250,000 PA coverage. 250,000 pinaghahatian po yan ng 5 tao. The driver and including the 4 other passengers. 25,000 pesos each po sila. Ano po yun? Yung 25,000 pesos each po, makukuha po yan kung worst comes to worst, kung namatay po yung driver or any of the passengers, automatic 25,000 po ibibigay doon kung patay. Pero kung bodily injury lang, maki-claim din, pero 1% of that lang. Yes. You've heard me. 1% of that lang. So 2.5 lang po. Okay. Tama ba ko? Tama. 2.5, 1%. 1% ng 25,000 to. So ganun. Yun lang po ang claim. Parang medical reimbursement sort of like that. Ganun din. Yung requirements ganun din. Yung if na-confine, SOA sa hospital, medical certificate. Oo, kasi and then siguro valid probably yung mga gamot na purchase niyo within the hospital or outside the hospital, yung mga resibo po nun, i-keep nyo po yun. Yung mga prescription, i-keep nyo po yun. But quick fact, quick side tip lang. Quick side info. When we process claims for TPL, we heard, madami po kaming notice na hindi po included doon sa accident per se or doon sa recovery ng biktima. Balikan natin yung nangyari kay Juan. Nagabunggo ng pedestrian or a person na confined for 7 days. I-refund naman talaga ng insurance kung part of the recovery lang ng victim or part of the medication ng victim. Like say for example, yung mga betadine, yung mga gauze, yung mga siguro mefenamic, para sa any medical or any gamot na connected dun sa recovery niya, covered yon. Yung iba kasi, sinasali dun yung kinain nila nung linggo, inisnack nila nung Lunes, hindi po covered yon sa TPL. Hindi po covered yun kasi that's not part of the medication. Okay? Hindi po covered yun. Kino-covered lang po ng insurance is yung all the stuffs necessary for the recovery and for the medication of the victim. May ba nga sinasali yung candy eh. But kasi pag makita ng claims processor yun or ng adjuster yun, i-exclude niya yun. Hindi niya i-include yun. Baka magulat kayo eh. Ba't niya i-include? Hindi mo naman kasali yun sa pagre-recover ng bibiktima eh. Diba? Kaya nga, again, whatever is really justifiable for the claim, yun lang po ang i-covered. Buti nga lang may insurance kaysa wala. Yun na lang po isipin ninyo, diba? Yun kaya at least at the back of your head, at the back of your mind, you know na okay, gagastos ka naman, gagastos ka at gagastos din eh, but you know na may babalik din eh. Hindi man buo 100% pero meron. At least meron kaysa wala, di ba? Ayos na yun. Di ba? Hindi pa maganda yung nangyari tapos wala pang mabalik sa'yo eh. Napakaano mo naman. Okay. So, ganun lang po. Yung TPL, BI, tsaka PA. Magkarugtong po yung tatlo yan. Those three are part of the comprehensive insurance policy. Coverage. Okay? Basic po yan. TPL, BI, PA, OD, PD, and ito po, i-mention ko po last yung I will mention po the last coverage, the acts of God or acts of nature. This is, the requirements for that is normally halos pareho lang. It's just the same for the own damage claim. It's just that by its coverage itself, acts of God or acts of nature, any damages po na masustain ng sasakyan ninyo during typhoon, during earthquake, during lightning, or any natural catastrophe na mangyari within the area, dun sa area nyo po, tapos na involved at na damage yung sasakyan nyo, acts of nature po or acts of God ang sasagot niyan. Okay? Yun lang. That's pretty much it. And requirements, it's just the same. Repair estimate. Probably it's just the same dun sa own damage. Repair estimate or CR, driver's license, picture, incident report or police report or driver's affidavit, cost of repair, parang ganun. Estimate lang, tapos pictures, stencil, ganun lang. It's really all about justification. So I think that's pretty much it for the insurance coverage under comprehensive policy motor cars. Natakol po it's yung it's not almost but 3 episodes po ang kinain just for the coverages alone. Hindi po kaya ng isang episode lang. It will take a while. Magiging boring and dragging naman yung podcast natin. Alright? And by the way, shout out to Cafe Pilar. Sa mga friends natin. Cafe Pilar po is located at South Bank Building, Yakapin Vélez Streets, Cagayan de Oro City. The Cafe Pilar, of course, if you love coffees and other delicacies and other foods, visit po Cafe Pilar, one of the best coffee shop po in Metro CDO. If not the best, but one of the best. Hindi po dahil namin sila, but try nyo po Cafe Pilar, masarap po yung nila. Mga yung varieties of coffees nila and pastries nila, at hindi lang din po sila ng mga pastries. They also have their all-day breakfast menus, check niyo po yung FB page nila, Cafe Pilar, shout out to them. And of course, also to our listeners abroad, I checked my analytics on Anchor. My listener, obviously we have listeners in the Philippines, okay, but I saw some of our listeners are from US, United States of America, and you also have listeners from Kuwait, Dubai, and saan pa ba yun? We have listeners from abroad, and I'm pretty impressed, no? Hindi ako na-expect na we have listeners from those countries I've mentioned, no? But again, this is just for information of everybody. I'm just doing this out of my passion for the industry, and I just want to share yung nalalaman po natin sa non-life insurance industry. Because again, as I've mentioned in the previous episodes, this industry is not your typical industry na widely known sa mainstream knowledge ng tao or masa. Before you can get this, you must have a car. Kasi hindi mo ma-experience to pag wala kang sasakyan eh. Oh. Or if hindi ka involved to any vehicles, diba? So, yun lang po yung aim natin dito. And baka napansin niyo, we have a very, very lousy setup here because I'm just recording on my phone, my daily driver phone. And on the next I'm really praying and hoping and really doing my best na makapag-invest tayo ng mga equipments and gadgets here, from a laptop down to the mic, yung condenser mic, to the mixer. You know, pag may laptop ka na, automatic na yan, mag-install tayo ng softwares for editing. Because yung ini-envision ko po dito sa podcast natin, hindi po ako I'm envisioning to have a visual show, not just an audible show na maririnig na lang on Spotify. Although madami din po ang gumagawa nito, but I envision that we can extend this platform not just on audio format, on Anchor and Spotify, but I would really, really love to upload our episodes on YouTube. That's my vision right there. I'll have a video podcast. But as of now, may limitado pa po yung mga equipments and gadgets and resources for that. But in the near future, that's my vision po. And just hope that if siyempre kung maganda yung equipment nyo, obviously magiging maganda din yung experience of listening and or viewing, as the case may be. Okay, but as of now, I'm just gonna stick to what I have. Let's maximize of what I have, and I'm pretty sure makakapag-invest din tayo ng mga gadgets and equipments. I am just very, very much happy that I can share what I know, and pretty much being amazed lang to the mere fact na may mga listeners din papulo tayo. Just outside the country, okay? That's outside the country. To as far as the US, on the west side, the Middle East, in the eastern side of this planet, diba? All right, so I think that's pretty much it just for today. And again, COVID threat is still there. Tuo lang yapunta sa mga mandates and protocols ng giset sa atong authorities and governments, mga idol. And again, inviting you all to subaybayan nyo po yung Spotify episode podcast natin. We're not just gonna talk about insurance here. We were gonna talk a lot of things, just like sports, current events, and all other stuffs that will tickle your interest and likes, okay, and attention. Para po we can have a healthy conversation with this. All right, so wishing you all have a good day. It is weekend now here in the Philippines, and regardless of anong araw kayo nakikinig, I'm just praying and hoping that you're in your tip-top shape, you're in good condition. I'm gonna have my podcast Facebook account soon. Gagawa po tayo ng Facebook fan page for this show. It's CTS CrisToShow, #CTS, #CrisToShow, the podcast, here on Anchor FM and on Spotify. You can listen on those platforms. And I guess Anchor just notified me when I started this na it will also be heard on Google Podcast. No? So, thank you Anchor. And sa inyo, ikaw, yes, you, ikaw po, kayo po na nakikinig. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. See you on the next episode. We'll have our teaser and have a good day. Thank you. Bye.